Good morning, and welcome to the beginning of a new academic year at Elon. I hope you've all had the opportunity this summer for some rest and to rejuvenate your bodies and your spirits. On the Monday following commencement, Lori and I moved out of Maynard House into our new home. We love our new space, and frankly, it felt wonderful to dramatically lighten the load of stuff we accumulated over 40 years. It took me 2 months to realize I had left my hairdryer affixed to the wall of my old Maynard House bathroom. So I guess if you don't use something for 15 years, it falls out of mind. This morning is the 19th and final time I will have the privilege of offering an opening of the university address to you, my dear colleagues. This is a special and exciting year. We are finishing the Elon Commitment Strategic Plan, and the university community will soon likely begin to ask, what's next? The leadership phase of the Elon Leads campaign is going well, and we're thinking about the public phase launch. And of course, we will soon welcome the 9th president of Elon University. So I've been giving a lot of thought about what I might say to you in order to be most helpful in this time of transition. Most important of all, I want to offer the perspective that each of you is using your unique gifts and talents to do the most important work imaginable, shaping the minds and hearts and souls of a new generation. I cannot think of another time in my life where the leadership of a new generation was required more. We need new leaders who are more hopeful, more capable of addressing the issues of our time, healthcare, the scourge of racism, and how to respond to the rapid changes taking place in our economy due to technology. More globally minded, more creative, more kind, more courageous to stand up for American ideals of liberty and justice for all. And as Archbishop Desmond Tutu charged us on this very stage, more committed to see the face of God in every other human being they encounter. It takes a very special environment to help form such leaders and citizens. But nowhere in my life have I ever encountered a group of people who are better at doing this work collectively than you. You've often heard me say that the essence of Elon is in the power of the transformative human relationships that are formed here. I'm often asked, what's Elon's secret sauce? And my answer is an extraordinary faculty and staff who are committed to helping students become their best and truest selves. As I've been on the road this year, engaging with our alumni, I've been speaking about long plays, ideas that we are committed to today, and I believe must remain committed to for the next 40 years or longer. I know 40 years sounds like an eternity, but that is the length of just one extraordinary faculty or staff career at Elon, or 2 Elon presidencies. Tempus fugit. I have 5 long plays to talk about this morning that I believe are critical to Elon's future success. The first is to safeguard what is best about Elon's culture. Management gurus often observe that culture limits strategy, or culture eats strategy for breakfast. Here at Elon, we've been big on strategy. The successful execution of a series of ambitious strategic plans has catapulted us to a place of prominence on the landscape of American higher education. But I am convinced that the reason we have been able to carry our plans forward is because of our strong institutional culture. And here are some of its most important features. We keep a constant focus on students and learning. It sounds so simple and self-evident, but this ethic has kept us grounded and focused at both the undergraduate and graduate levels. We have a staff that consistently rises to a higher calling. Many of our program assistants are some of the most important student mentors on campus. Our environmental services staff are significant adult presences in the lives of students and constantly extend encouragement. I have had grateful parents thank me because Jana Lynn Patterson gave their kid a much-needed "Get Your Act Together" talk and moved, for example, an 18-year-old young man along the continuum from being, shall we say, unfocused to earning a full scholarship to a prestigious law school. Those are but a few of 100 examples. We take our faculty scholar mentor model seriously, as you saw on the stage this morning. We have kept our bearings. We prize great teaching and mentoring as the most important professional activities of the faculty. No one is prouder than I am of the advances we have made in supporting and celebrating faculty scholarship. But superb teaching and mentoring remain at the heart of the work of the Elon faculty. In recognition of the critical importance of faculty excellence to Elon's mission, I'm pleased to announce today that upon recommendation of a committee chaired by Associate Provost for Faculty Affairs, Tim Peoples, we will honor two of our colleagues this fall as distinguished university professors. Jeffrey Pugh, Maud Sharp-Powell Professor of Religious Studies, and David Copeland, A.J. Fletcher Professor and Professor of Communications. They will be the 5th and 6th faculty members to receive this title, which recognizes senior full professors for their inspirational teaching, scholarship, service, and leadership. We will be investing Dr. Pugh and Dr. Copeland as distinguished university professors in formal ceremonies later this academic year. But I would like to ask Jeff and David to please stand so that the audience can recognize your years of outstanding leadership at Elon University. Those two gentlemen exemplify the culture of this campus. And so does this idea that we prize innovation and creativity. This is a community that is constantly asking, how can we be more excellent? Let's never stop asking that question. And we value kindness and community. The world needs institutions that model kindness and inclusive community, especially now. Now, I am not a Pollyanna. I know we are not perfect. Individually and collectively, we have our rough edges and our bad moments. But all in all, this is a pretty great place because we are all so invested in it. A second long play is that we need to keep a disciplined focus on maintaining our institutional identity. Brands, if you will, including those of academic institutions, are very important. And I believe this will be ever more increasingly so. Bates has a brand. Vanderbilt has a brand. Villanova has a brand. My own view is that Elon's identity is to set the global standard for engaged learning. That's powerful and distinctive. And maintaining a distinctive place among top colleges and universities is critically important to our future. Elon can be found on many top 100 lists for colleges and universities. Our leadership in engaged and experiential learning here is unsurpassed, as Chalmers said this morning. Thanks to you, when asked which institutions are doing the best work in international education, in undergraduate research, in writing across the curriculum, in first-year seminars, in senior capstones, in internships, in residential learning communities, and civic engagement, people point to Elon. Our arts and sciences tradition is distinguished. We have a business school in the top 40 and a top-ranked communications school. We prepare great teachers and lawyers and healthcare professionals. And we're proud of many other distinctions, such as the Elon Poll, the Doherty Center for Entrepreneurship, our student success in winning Fulbrights, and many other national and international fellowships. The work of the Center for the Advancement of Teaching and Learning, our track record of success with the Peace Corps, our work in multi-faith, and so much more. The challenge is to maintain distinctiveness as we compete alongside the best institutions of higher education in the country, many with longer established reputations and much greater wealth. But we can do that. The third long play I want to address with you this morning concerns maintaining a sense of urgency for building our endowment for a principal purpose: student financial aid. More than a decade ago, the estate of Leon and Lorraine Watson provided an unrestricted gift that was used to create the Watson Scholars Program, our first major gift to support multiple endowed scholarships for students with high financial need, almost all Pell eligible. Then Furman Mosley, class of '56, and his wife Susan created the Susan Scholars. Others followed, and the Odyssey program was created to support a growing number of students with major financial awards, which today totals 118 scholarships. The key to Odyssey's success is not only the scholarships, of course, but the program's strong mentoring and sense of community. Odyssey scholars are among the most amazing students at Elon. Bridget Agbozo, class of 2019, studied at the University of Bristol this summer with an award from the US-UK Fulbright Commission. Stephen Amandares, who graduated last spring, is teaching in Spain this year after winning a Fulbright English teaching assistantship. Miss Oprah Winfrey dropped by last spring to celebrate the graduation of Nosifo Shangazi, who's now studying epidemiology in the School of Public Health at UNC. Nosifo's journey from her childhood in Johannesburg to the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls, to being a Susan Scholar at Elon, to one of the nation's top graduate programs in public health, is a story of incredible human potential being realized. Oprah made 2 telephone calls to both Furman and Susan Mosley to celebrate the connection that they shared in Nosifo. Because of the success of the Odyssey program, many others are stepping up in the Elon Leads campaign to expand the program. LabCorp's gift this summer will support 4 more Odyssey scholarships for graduates of the Elon Academy. The estate of Edna and Doug Noyles will create 6 more Odysseys, along with endowment support for the Elon Academy. Trustee Ed Doherty and his wife Joan are supporting 8 additional Odyssey scholarships. Trustee Cindy Citrone and her husband Rob have supported 2 Odysseys for graduates of the Horizons College Access Program. Former SGA President Cam Timms, class of 2000, has generously added Elon and Odyssey to his estate plan, and we'll have more exciting additions to Odyssey to announce later this fall. We are making great progress to grow the program to 200 scholars by the end of the Elon Leads campaign. And this work is incredibly important to both the character of Elon and to supporting the American dream of a better life through access to education and hard work. This is a big and strategic bet for Elon. We already have about 1/4 of our institutional endowment funds invested in Odyssey. But I am convinced that growing this program over time remains one of Elon University's most important commitments. We're aiming for similar growth for endowments to support our fellows scholarships, which enable us to enroll some of our most other well-qualified students. For example, this past spring and summer, Trustee Catherine Weaver and her husband Mike endowed 2 honors fellowships. Parents Larry and Ann Clark are establishing 2 Elon College Fellows and 2 Business Fellows endowments. And the estate of Carolyn Osbaugh endowed 2 teaching fellowships in honor of the memory of her late husband, John. Additional aid for students from middle-income families in the form of Elon Engagement Scholarships is another top priority of the Elon Leads campaign and will be key to helping us meet our future enrollment management objectives. The big picture here, folks, is that we are on a decades-long journey to build our student financial aid pool, principally through endowment. This is the long-term, strategic, and most sustainable approach to building that aid pool. And in my view, this represents the single most important strategic priority for Elon, and it will require hard work, patience, and the commitment of our growing alumni body to succeed. And speaking of our alumni body, they represent the 4th long play I want to address this morning. You've heard me say many times that great universities are ultimately known by the accomplishments of their alumni. And I have overwhelming confidence that our growing alumni body is going to propel this university to new heights. At President Daniel Lee's memorial service last December, I observed that when Earl graduated from Elon in 1946, the college had produced a total of 1,600 alumni in its then 57-year history. Fewer than we graduate in a single year these days. So our alumni base is both extraordinarily young and filled with exceptional promise for future leadership in society and of this university. We must stay close to them, encourage them, and engage them in meaningful interactions with the university. And each of you can play an important role in making this happen because it is not the physical campus that they are attached to. It's the people of Elon. Neka Anura, president of Elon's alumni chapter in Los Angeles, said to me this past spring that they try to hold alumni events in LA that make alumni feel as if they are back at Elon. That's special. Our alumni body is a garden, and we must tend it with love and care. The last long play I want to address this morning is about continuing to engage this critical question. What will learning in the college experience look like in 10 or 20 years? Elon has a decades-long and distinguished track record, as you heard about this morning, in innovation in higher education. We are the national leader in experiential education. Engaged learning is not a slogan here. It's a practiced art form, and the people in this room are admired nationally for your leadership in this arena. Look at how online learning has reshaped summer school at Elon over the past decade. I remember the debates in faculty meeting about that subject, online education, and how Professor Emerita Carol Chase spoke forcefully against what she saw as a potential depersonalization of an Elon education. And then, to her great credit, she tried teaching an online class and became convinced that the pedagogy indeed could be surprisingly intimate if done well. Everywhere we turn these days, there's talk about technology disrupting business models. Amazon has changed our shopping habits with far-reaching consequences. Doesn't the way you access your news differ from 10 years ago? I look at the technological experience of my 6-year-old grandson and wonder how he will be shaped by the online world by the time he reaches college in 12 years. How will he access and make meaning of information? Will human relationships in college matter as much as they do now? So the big question is, how will higher education be disrupted? I think the residential campus experience will continue to be important for many students. At the same time, we recognize that most of our students already do some portion of their university experience off campus, in study abroad, internships, and research in the field. Will education increasingly become a blend of experiences, on campus and off, online and in person, in ways that we do not fully imagine at the moment? Will the paradigm of 4 years of high school and 4 years of college morph into something else? Will our students increasingly seek 2 degrees, 1 undergraduate and 1 graduate, in a compressed time frame? Frankly, I don't know the answer to these questions. But Jack Welch, former head of GE, once famously said, "If the rate of change on the outside exceeds the rate of change on the inside, the end is near." And I do know that Elon's nimbleness and innovative spirit and willingness to experiment and avoid imitation have always helped us respond to changing times. Let's continue to be bold experimenters as the world changes around us. This will involve some risk. We will make some mistakes, and the status quo will be challenged. But the biggest danger is to become stagnant and to watch the wave of change overtake our efforts. Elon has always embraced change, and today that is more important than ever before. Culture, institutional distinctiveness, endowment for scholarships, alumni, boldly anticipating how learning will take place in the future. I hope you'll reflect on those 5 big ideas as we move forward together.